Former Gauteng ANC Chair Toyko is joining the campaign trail of the governing party in Katlehong. In fact, it seems like they're giving a bit of an impromptu briefing. I see Katlehong also speaking there. Let's listen in.
Toyko is here today. I'll give over to him just to explain to you why is he here. Immediately after that, we'll take questions. Thank you very much. Over to you, Comrade Toyko.
Thank you, Comrade. Viva FIFA! Viva FIFA! That's how we start. 34 years ago, when we left Robben Island, because of the victory of our people who struggled for our release, and for those who came from underground and in exile as well, we're here. We're here in Katlehong, a place of success, a place of victory. Ke Katlehong, sisho njalo. We're here with Madiba in this area. We're here with Mapetha Owa, the first founder of the branch of the ANC in this area. And of course, we're here with somebody who was shot not very far from here, Comrade Chris Hani. Viva! Chris Hani, viva! Viva! We remember him and we're campaigning in the spirit of those leaders. Yes. We're here to campaign for the ANC, not to decampaign any political party. They can do that. Not to campaign anybody, but we're campaigning for the ANC. But we're here also to decampaign poverty in Tatelokwet.
Yes, my
We're here to decampaign lack of water for the people. We're here to campaign against potholes, and later I'll talk about the potholes which are now visiting our society. We're here to campaign the poverty of our people, to campaign for the success of this country to be rebuilt. Last 2 points, because we'll talk along the way. We're here also as part of the renewal of the African National Congress and the proper reconstruction of our country, because while we're renewing the ANC, it's because things have happened inside the ANC that makes us unhappy. All these parties which are starting is people who, a lot of them, are unhappy with things that have happened inside the ANC. So whilst we renew the ANC, we don't forget that the people who did wrong inside the ANC have found their way into society. So they cause problems inside society. We're here to say to South Africans and fellow members of the ANC and the Alliance in broad, we are bending our knees in front of our people, and we promise them a better life, not just in general, because we said so in 1994, but a better life because we want to renew the ANC and reconstruct the country by putting people in power who understand the requirements of the basic politics of the ANC, and people who will be sensitive at local level, at provincial level, at national level to the demands and requirements of our people. My last point is the following. When your home, your father's home, is on fire, you don't do gabaza and ask what's happening. You take the bucket and join all others, and we douse the flames. Then we can talk later under the mile what caused the problems. But for now, when you're a soldier in the trenches, as Chris Hani was, when there are problems inside your family, they can wait. The house is on fire. That's why we're here, to join these leaders, some of whom he was 15 years old when you came here. He was 10 when we were here. And others,
20.
Okay, he was following in my footsteps at that time. But we're here to join these leaders who are now our leaders. Keep on saying leadership, leadership. This is the leadership. We're not below them, and we give them the chance to take the lead and to join them in the correction of the mistakes, but also in the work of ensuring that a better life for our people is achieved, not just a dream. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Comrade Toyko.
One question each.
Those who have questions, can we raise our hands? We'll only take one round because we still have work to do. The first hand is here. You are number one.
Some there's a controversial guy.
There's some girl number two.
Some girl
from
still
SABC. My sister number 3. Who's number 4? Number 5.
We are posing the question now.
Yeah, we're taking 5 hands, comrades. We still have work to do. No conversation. No. Only questions from the media.
Media.
Okay. Number 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Toyko from Eyewitness News. Mr. Sexwale, since you last became Premier of Gauteng and compared to now, what would you say is an honest assessment of the state of Gauteng from when you were Premier to now?
Not just as Premier, but also National Minister. But I'm here as an equal member of the ANC today. The assessments have been done by ourselves and those who we have entrusted to work inside government. We'll be assessing each and every aspect of political and economic life as it takes place inside the country. There are many things to point at. But after the elections, we have to sit down and find out, because there are many issues. Many issues. We are coming from Eyewitness News. It was formed about 34 years ago. It was running about this area with us. I was very happy to talk with them from time to time. And thanks for your question. So the issue is to tackle the main and the basic areas. They are all there in our manifesto about the health of our people, about jobs for our people. The number one thing for me is about the happiness of our people, but you'll find it in health, education, jobs, all those type of things. So there's no one issue. The key question is to deal with problems in their totality which affect our people. They are still there.
Thank you. Number two.
I samkelo wena man.
Mr. Sexwale, just in essence, can you just give us a diagnosis of where did the wheels fall off and where to from here, knowing that you have essentially lost all the metros in Gauteng? You are maybe on the verge of losing an outright majority within this province. You contested in 2012, if I'm not mistaken, and lost in the ANC conference. Where did the wheels fall off, and how can you reclaim and revive your party post the elections in a national dialogue that has been called by the former president of Britain? Thank you.
The wheels have not all fallen off. The screws are loose. But this wagon, this vehicle of the ANC is still on. That's why we're here. Our people still have a belief in what the ANC can achieve with them and for them. So we still have our wheels. We're here to tighten them up. That's why we come out. I said the house is on fire. We're just dousing the flames. So we're going to have to be honest with ourselves and introspection. Real serious, not philosophizing about this thing. Look at where we have made mistakes inside. But today we're not here for that. The ANC will have time to discuss its own processes of renewal. We're here to talk with the people. Say we're here, we're unafraid, we own up to our own shortcomings, we own up to our own mistakes, and we look forward. It is unproductive for people to look back over their shoulders, because when you lead, you look forward. But however, the mind understands there are certain things that have gone wrong, and the ANC will have to be equal to the truth and sit down and rectify those things. There are several of them, but here we're reporting to our people today. Thank you.
Number three.
From ENCA. Just your comments around the different strategies we're seeing from political parties in their campaigns. The Democratic Alliance in particular, in an advert is burning the South African flag. Just your reaction to that. And do you believe the ANC has treated the former president Jacob Zuma with kid gloves when it comes to disciplinary processes? I mean, he is actively campaigning for another party.
Let me start there. It is important for us not to stand here and be de-campaigning other people. The question of Jacob Zuma remains as a disciplinary question of the African National Congress, and I leave it there. But I'm saying that once you attack the flag of the country, and there are laws about this thing, once you denigrate that flag, once you ban it, whether physically or in social media, then you are no longer a patriot. You are now insulting the people who came. That flag, as I said, comes from the blood. A lot of it was spilled here in Katlehong and Egurelane, the east end at that time. And the worst blood was shed in the name of Chris Hani here, not far from here. So that's the red part of that flag. Anybody who denigrates that flag, anybody who disrespects that flag is disrespecting our people. Next question.
Number 5. Ntebo Mukot.
That's why my name is Ntebo. I'm with the SABC. In 1994, you were with Matiba. The people of South Africa embraced that promise of a better life for all. But today we wake up in South Africa that is the most unequal society in the world. Crime is rampant. In fact, black person has become the face of poverty in South Africa. Are you disappointed that on the 29th of May, the people of South Africa would be judging the ANC based on their daily life experiences? And there is a fear that the ANC will dip below 50%. What do you think should happen? Will you be disappointed at this judgment?
The people have got every right to judge us. That's why there's an election. We'll go back to the people with our open hands, open minds, but also saying to the people, open your minds to ourselves as well. There are shortcomings, and we'll keep on repeating those things. There are mistakes, but also in certain situations, criminality has happened inside the ANC that found itself into society. We're urging the people to understand that we're here with and for them. So there's no disappointment. And I would like to believe that come the 19th, the 29th of this month, people will understand where we come from, what the message is, because there are no recriminations. There's no need for us to look back and say this and that happened. We're looking forward, and we believe that with the achievements that the ANC has made inside government at various levels, the people have an understanding of the difficulties that we're faced with insofar as the structures of government are concerned. But where we have to give assurances is how to fix things inside the ANC and consequently to rectify things inside society.
Mr. Sexwale, Nkosinathi Shazi from Power FM News. So post the elections ngomhlaka 29, will we see more of you with the ANC? Is this somewhat of your political return, or are you at the expense of the ANC just for this election period, as mentioned by the former leaders who have now been roped in by the ANC njengoba siya kwama elections?
There's a time for others to take the lead, but we have been behind them. That's why we're here. And they've been leading. Here's Buntate Maila and others who are inside government, and they are providing that lead. So once an ANC member, for me, always ANC. Like Morocco Swallows, once a base, always a. It doesn't matter what Pirates does and Chiefs, I remain all the time. So I don't change from this thing. I'll be buried in the colors of Morocco Swallows. But once ANC, always ANC.
Like
so let me finish that. Once ANC, for me, always ANC. But I know there are people who have said, hey, my blood is black, green and gold, and then tomorrow you see them, and others say my blood is black, and tomorrow they do things against us. I don't belong to that generation. I am from the generation of Nelson Mandela, staying with him in jail 15 years, and I don't waste my time there. I'm from a generation of Chris Hani, ANC. So it's not Pumangena. Others can do that, but we implore them also, where there's a chance to come back, because some have just come out a few weeks ago and then suddenly they are being expelled and so on. Come back to the ANC, that's another call we're making.
Yeah.
Okay, let's make the mistakes together and rectify them together.
Yeah.
Sure. Thank you very much, colleagues. You are free to join us as we do door to door.
Yes, sir.
That was essentially Toyko Sexwale, who is a veteran of the governing party, former premier of the Gauteng province, who is effectively hitting the ground running, going to campaign for the party. As you can see there in those visuals, he is alongside Lebogang Maile, alongside TK Ngiza, alongside Teliswa, and also Kidiboni Diale, who is an ANC PEC member in the province of Gauteng, and also the MEC of transport within the province, and also Maiponi Mhlongo, who is also the deputy coordinator of the region RTT in Gauteng, Takota Lekhwete as well, ANC NEC member and deployee in Gauteng, and Lesibe Ampea, who is the spokesperson of the ANC in this region of Ekurhuleni. Toyko Sexwale essentially saying that the house is on fire, and that as members and loyal members of and supporters of the ANC, they are there to pick up the buckets and make sure that they extinguish the flame that is there against the African National Congress, saying that they're not here to decampaign anyone, they're not here to decampaign MK party of Jacob Zuma, but they are here essentially to speak to the people and speak their truth and say and accept where they have erred and gone wrong to the people of the West, of the East Rand rather, and speaking about the history of Katlehong and the liberation generation that it's played in South Africa's liberation struggle and the wars that took place in this area, and saying that this is the area of the late Chief of Staff of Umkhonto weSizwe, that would be Chris Hani.
Really, I suppose, poignant engagement with members of the media there, Samkele. I wonder if you're able to hear me, because there are a few things that are worth ventilating, including that call that Toyko Sexwale made there at the end for people who've left the governing party to consider coming back.
Indeed, and I did hear that particular question there on him being asked whether he'd consider coming back to mainstream politics, saying that he's always been there with the African National Congress, and it is the time now for the younger generation to lead, the likes of Lebogang Maile, the likes of TK Ngiza, who are currently leading, the likes of Teliswa, the likes of Vuyo Mhaga there, as you can see, and also Kidiboni Diale, who are the current leaders of the African National Congress, saying that they are now in the background, they are now advising the younger generation on leadership, and that their time to lead is over, but they will continuously be there in the life and times of the African National Congress.
Broadly speaking, Samkele, what's your sense of how Toyko Sexwale and the rest of the team there from the ANC has been received by that specific community? It's an interesting time in the elections. The sentiment around the ANC itself is always worth noting. How have people received that delegation?
Well, and what we've come to know of the ANC in Ekurhuleni is that it is very much entrenched when it comes to the masses on the ground. They do control about 79 wards in this specific area of Ekurhuleni. They are the majority of council. They have the majority of councillors in council. They have majority of the wards within this specific municipality. They do enjoy support, but in the last elections, they saw a number of their supporters staying away, not going to the polls because of the various issues they had with the ANC at the time, how it is governing this particular municipality, how it is governing this particular province, and subsequently how it has been governing the country. So it has seen the supporters of this party over a period of time pulling back, but we've also seen people complaining of issues of service delivery in this area of Ekurhuleni. Speaking about potholes, you did hear Timpohani, the wife of the late Chief of Staff of the ANC, of the SACP and MK rather, that would be Chris Hani, speaking about the lack of service delivery, the potholes in this area, the issue of electricity within this specific area. But I'm just going to call Mr. TK Ngiza. Mr. TK, just a few questions to you, because I'm calling TK Ngiza because he was the regional secretary in this area. Mr. Ngiza, just the essence of some of the problems that are within this area of Ekurhuleni, Katlehong. You were the former regional secretary of this area. You know this area inside out. What are some of the main issues that these people, particularly Katlehong and the greater East Rand, are facing?
I think, first of all, greetings to your viewers. The biggest challenge we had was 2021, when people did not go to vote for various reasons. And I think the biggest challenge we had at that time is that we didn't know that there were a lot of issues, especially the issue of transformers, which were destroyed and vandalized for different reasons, and people did not have electricity. At least 2.1 South Africans, Gauteng people did not have electricity because of that, which were fixed as well in the province. But the biggest challenge is people not voting. Now, there's no decisive organization that is leading the area. Now, you have a big problem of Action SA and the DA that took over the region, which is Ekurhuleni. When they took over, they immediately withdrew budgets that were going into areas that are dominated by our constituency. Botembisa, Fostoras, Katlehong, all those areas. That's why they're so dead. This, you know, when we were leading here, I mean, whether you speak about clean audit, whether you speak about how the areas were, they were well serviced, including the bursary scheme of 500 million, which were giving to the previously disadvantaged people. They were taken over by the DA and Action SA government. So really they took us back. We had to find ways of making sure that, because the reality is that 98% or 70% of the wards, 70% of the wards are led by the ANC councillors. So when there are problems, people are complaining about the African National Congress. So we had to make sure that we deal with that. So where we are now, we want to urge many South Africans, and Gautengers in particular, let's not allow a coalition government in Gauteng, because we've seen what has happened in Tshwane, what has happened in Ekurhuleni, what is happening in Joburg. Let's go and vote in our majority for an organization that has got experience. Only the ANC can lead the people of Gauteng and people of this country.
Thank you very much, Mr. TK Ngqiza. I'm going to ask the MEC of Transport in her other capacity, not her political party.
I'm here as an ANC member.
You're here as an ANC member.
Yes.
But as MEC, when are you fixing the roads? Potholes are all over. People are complaining.
We're fixing the road Samkelo. We are now in Ekurhuleni, now have a mayor that understands that we need to assist the people of Ekurhuleni, and we have plans together that we will be assisting on municipal roads. The challenge is hugely on municipal roads, which we are not responsible as a province, and we've been struggling to get municipalities to agree that they need assistance, and we are happy that Ekurhuleni is leading the way. We'll be going into city of Tshwane, and we'll see whether Johannesburg will also agree with our approach towards fixing the potholes. So there's a plan in the department.
How far are you with the 44 priority roads that you had identified in the VAL? How far are those when it comes to implementation and fixing them?
We are done. It's only two roads that are not completed due to sewer and underground infrastructure challenges, which require us to deviate from our initial mandate and correct that. So all 38 are done and handed over to the people of Sidibeng, who will be moving into Tshwane and Ekurhuleni as well. So we are done. We did the great job. It's just that to fix those two roads that had sewer challenges. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That is Kidibone Diale, who is the MEC of Transport in the province, just speaking about those 44 priority roads that they had to do in the VAL.
All right, Samkele Maseko, thanks very much indeed. We'll leave things there for now, but the story, of course, nowhere near over. Samkele Maseko, part of our team, reporting there, live to us there from parts of Ekurhuleni.